See you later. So Paul, we have a solution for one of the files that we are unable to get hold of. The others, so I should say we have a solution for 4 out of 5 of the files now for that GDAL notebook. The 5th one basically is leveraging the StripMap processing. And so either we just have to run the StripMap processing and save the file somewhere, which is my preferred solution. Or
Yeah,
we have to edit the notebook to say, run this section after you've done everything else.
Right. So I came to the same conclusion after going back and forth with Beckert, who contacted Piyush, and Piyush said, well, it's all public domain, so you can just do it yourself. So he didn't have a copy of it. I went in, I started StripMap app. It's running now in the cloud.
Cool.
And I was just going to go in, and I thought that after running StripMap app, I'd have all the necessary files. You're saying that they won't all be there? What were the 4 that you found?
So that it loads in like a chunk of SRTM, it does, and some other, the Greenland DEM, and the, I don't know if you've looked, France found a notebook that had code cells that loaded in all these chunks of data. The first four files, which are like geotips and GRD files and
Perfect.
whatever. And it's just the 5th one was the StripMap process, like the it was using the correlation files in both geocoded and radar geometry, I think.
Right. Okay. Well, in that case, I'll just run StripMap, and if they can specify an area, I guess I can just tell them to pull. How do I do it? How do I get them into the common area that people can copy from? As
I'm not sure, but we could copy it to an AWS bucket. That's something we've done in the past.
Okay.
Ask Alex or Eric to do that.
Okay. All right. So could you take care of the first 4, and I'll take care of StripMap?
Yeah. Well.
Or
everything else works, I think.
Okay. And I haven't gone through the second 2 notebooks of that GDAL exercise, but I'm hoping that they just use the same data sets.
I think so.
Okay.
I think Lien might have done it.
Okay, well, he's on, so he can
ask
clarify for us.
Hi,
Although, I mean, if he didn't have the fundamental data sets, and the 2nd and 3rd relied on the fundamental data sets, he couldn't have run through those either. Did you go through all the GDAL notebooks, Lien?
Yeah, we have gone through the download data downloading works well now, but in GDAL, I watched video from previous years, and I believe that Piyush presented that. So I believe Piyush made the notebook file. I'm not sure he can provide the data or not.
Yeah, so we were just having that discussion before you joined, and we've contacted Piyush, and he basically said he didn't archive it. You just can get it yourself. Okay. So I think for the first of the 3 notebooks in the GDAL directory, we have a solution. I'm just going to run the StripMap processor and locate the files that are needed from that output, and have them copied to the common area so that that notebook will work. And then Gareth and Franz have identified the DEM data sets that are needed also. So we will, in a day or so, have all the necessary files for the first, that intro to GDAL notebook. The question I had is for the 2nd and 3rd notebooks, do those rely on the same data sets that the first notebook relies on, or not?
Let me check it quickly.
Well, I mean, I can check it too. I just thought you might know if you've gone through it.
As I text on Slack, that it is one option. Another one is that I found 4 files will be read from the notebook as I pasted in Slack. So I think we can gather these files and drop to the working directory like the files downloaded. So I think it should be available from both of you some way before. If
Where would I see where you posted something in Slack? I don't see anything about
instructor
Instructor chat.
or
Yeah.
or you can go to threads.
I hate Slack. I can't figure it out.
Uh-huh.
I'm too old, obviously. So I don't see anything with your name on it that says anything about the GDAL notebooks anywhere.
No,
Instructor chat.
You can go to instructor chat and go to my my post, the last post from
Which has
me.
14 replies.
Yeah, it's 14 replies, and the last one.
It's this. Okay, it says. All it says is that the data sets don't exist. That I knew already. I've read that.
If you click on the 14 replies, view the whole thread. There's a long conversation between multiple of us about where these files are and which files we need.
Oh, that's why I never understood. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it is why you had Slack.
Yes, exactly. You have to know all the little secret buttons.
That's not secret.
It's a secret if you don't know what to click on. All right, so this is basically describing what you just were talking about, Gareth, that
yeah,
files are locatable. Okay, so I can page through the files that are called intro. Yeah, okay, yeah. So I am running StripMap app now, and I can gather these files, these last StripMap app based files, and have them put into the right working directory. And if somebody else does the DEMs, then that's also fine.
So I think we might be, well, there's a possibility. All we need to do is have those 4 files, the 4 topophase files, copied onto a system, and then just download them as a series of files to the local directory. And then all we have to do is go through the next 2 notebooks and make all the files be in the same directory as the notebooks. So change the paths just to local directory, and I think everything will work.
Sounds good. All right. Okay, good. So now it's office hours. That's our business is behind us, and we have a few people joining. So we could, and there's Faizan, who is one of our TAs. Thanks for joining. And Leanne. Are there any questions? One thing we might want to remember for people to highlight, and maybe this will be done later, is that the setting up the .netrc file with the username and password for the Earth data login is something that people such as myself just now can trip up on if they don't get set properly.
Mm-hmm.
So that could save us a lot of time on Monday if we remind people of that somehow. Any questions? Has anybody tried running any of the notebooks?
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Faizan. How are you?
I have 2 questions, if you allow me.
Please.
Regarding the notebooks, as per the best knowledge, I have tried 4 of them today at my day. Those were working fine. I intend to started my pre-homework as well, and as well as a student to pick up the knowledge from the training, and half of the time I reserved for I plan to started to check the homeworks of the students. So
Right.
my question was that do you want me to start checking these homeworks pre-homeworks right from today, or you want me to do after a few days?
Oh, I don't think that people will be submitting things in the next day or two. I think you can wait a bit. Often, you know, it's like any other student activity. They'll wait until towards the end and then everything will get submitted at once. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I think
So
some have submitted homework for pre-course, and they tick in the sheet file.
How many, or what do you mean by some?
1, 2, 3, 4, less than 10. Yep.
Yeah, so I think it's probably okay to wait a little bit until people, so you have a good chunk. And you know, I think Becca talked with you that each of you has been assigned a chunk of students, right? So Faizan, maybe you can see how many you've been assigned.
Okay, I check the list now again, and I'll wait for the students to hefty of them submit the homework, and then I start working.
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sure. So, hi Yunjin, how are you?
Hi, Eva, I'm good.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you for asking.
So
What's this
I
Mamba
guess
thing that you're telling people about? I've never encountered that.
who are you talking to, Gareth?
Yunjin,
Oh, what was he telling people about?
Mamba.
Oh, Mamba, yeah. It's Conda. It's almost pure Python. Mamba is exactly a replica of Conda, but written in C.
Oh.
So when it's resolving all different dependencies within Conda realm, it's much faster.
That sounds like a very useful thing to know about.
Yeah.
See, I learn
was
stuff on this course every year.
But that's for resolving the installation, or it's resolving during some sort of runtime resolution?
The installation.
Okay, so that in theory that's done once and then you don't have to worry about it. I've never
Right.
quite understood the need for, unless you're developing, I guess, the need for super fast installation of software.
I don't know, when you're sitting in a class waiting for someone in your class to install something, and it's you know, the wheel is slowly.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah,
Anything
I
like
think
that would help a lot.
there are two things which always is slow. One is if people install something on their current Conda environment and they're trying to install new things, then we're trying to do that. The Conda will trying to not break the current system, but add all the dependencies of the new ones. So it will take usually a very long time to install, and it's just much easier to either start from a brand new Conda environment or just reinstall everything from the beginning.
I see.
And this was where Piyush would be like, "Oh, just make a new one. It's fine, trash it." and everyone was like, "No." And he was right, of course. Of course, he was
Exactly.
Right.
I learned this from Piyush, and he successfully converted me into that style.
Oh, okay.
I am only slowly learning this now myself, right? Or rather, I'm starting to understand why he said these things. So this is a good additional knowledge.
Yeah.
So and Mamba is here to stay, and soon Condo will be a thing of the past.
You install Mamba with Condo.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I do.
Do you need to?
I like to. I mean, I used to think it's just maybe just an alternative choice, but it's a much better alternative choice. So once I use it, I replaced all my installation node with Mamba. Things usually with installation, it may take 10 minutes, 20 minutes with Conda. It usually takes less than 2 minutes with Mamba.
Interesting. Okay. Guess I can Google that, get myself into some trouble. So Oscar or Olivia, you're our two non-TA students. Do you have any questions?
I don't have any specific questions. I just came to see if anyone else had useful questions. I'm also stuck at the GDAL data, but I've been watching the video, so hopefully I'll have a head start once that gets uploaded.
Yeah, it should be pretty straightforward. Let's see where I am on my StripMap processing now.
We moved it from a position later in the course to before the course, thinking, this is useful background, but then we didn't realize that it used files that we created earlier in the course. So now we are trying to retroactively find those files and upload them.
Sounds good.
But it shouldn't take more than a day.
Okay.
And
Shouldn't.
we thank you for your patience.
No problem.
So let's see, where am I now? I'm on. Okay. Finished making the SLCs. Making some plots. Okay, so I'll just keep plugging away here. And that should, now it's downloading the SRTM DEMs. I'm hoping that the SRTM DEMs that we need are the ones that we're downloading here. But perhaps I'll look at them.
No, they're not.
They're not the same. Okay, of course not.
Doesn't matter though.
Okay, yeah, it shouldn't matter because we'll just take the topo phase stuff out of here. Okay. So if I want to continue communicating on this topic with everybody on Slack, I should be doing it in that view thread domain,
Yeah.
not at the top level. It should be in the thread domain. Okay.
You should be able, yeah, but yes, that's right.
Okay.
And yeah, some people have been doing better with threaded conversations than others.
Yeah, well, now that I know, I will be much more religious about the threading.
In fact, when you open at least the web page, the top of the left column is threads, and that any thread that you've posted in, if it has updates, that will light up as a link, and it will take you to all of them. And in fact, if you click on it now, it should still show you all the threads that you've been involved with.
Yep, I got it. Do you still show geosync and geosync in different capitalizations on your startup page?
I get it, yeah. Because I haven't deleted either of them, I think. If I deleted both, then they probably would magically, you magically get one.
Oh, I see.
And I just delete the lowercase one, and it hasn't, and then it stayed like that. So it's good.
Okay, so let me try that, see if I screw things up.
Yeah. We should make sure it's not the one you're processing in.
Right. Geosync, all lowercase, delete. Are you sure you permanently want to delete? Delete. Oh, it says a directory must be empty before deleting. Did you have to go in and, what's that?
Then use the terminal, I guess.
Is that how you deleted it, Yunjin? How did you delete it?
Yeah, I do it in the terminal.
Okay.
And yeah, and somehow, with the button, you have to actually delete layers of folders one by one.
Yeah, let's not do that.
No, thank you. All right, that didn't take long to delete it. The terminal. All right, that's good.
I'd like to make sure I understand the ICE installation pre-course module. That is to our local machine, which is optional.
Right.
Yeah, so that one is not ready yet.
Oh,
We used to teach that at the end of the class last time, and the guy who taught it, I think, is no longer an instructor. So that, as it says in the syllabus, ASF is putting together a description of how to do the install, and it will create a Docker container that you should be able to install on your local machine, but that won't be ready until towards the end of the class.
but
And
that's sort of if we want to continue doing this on our local machine afterwards, it's not necessary for pre-course.
exactly, it's not
Okay.
necessary for anything. In fact, we discourage everybody from trying to process locally for the course itself. We want you to use the OSL interface.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
So this is confusing to her and other people. I can see from Slack channel. Some people ask about installation, and some people ask about GMT Star. I believe that it is not covered in our course this year, so it is
Yeah.
confusing to many people like that.
Okay,
I
so
was confused.
should I go into the syllabus? They're getting that confusion from the syllabus itself. Is that right? So it needs to be clearer in the syllabus that these are not part of the course or not required for the course. Would that solve the problem if I just change the text to be more clear?
I think it should be mentioned optional or not covered by the course, so that students know. If they really want to cover that themselves, they can watch video from previous years, but they are not covered from this year. Because
Yeah.
I have seen some people, they haven't done the pre-course, but they focus on GMT Star and post some question on GMT Star on Slack. So we have just 1 week to go to the main course. So they should come back to the thing we should cover for the main course first.
Okay.
I was confused why people were coming on asking about GMT Star, I have to say. Like, do you know which course you've signed up for? They have one.
Well, I think Lian was saying that we say that for understanding the basics of Unix and everything, we point them to the GMT Star course.
I was getting these questions before any of the OpenSAR lab was open.
Right, but the syllabus was available on Google Drives. They could have read it there.
Okay, well, all right.
I mean, I don't know. I can't read their minds, but either they're confused because they don't realize they're taking a non-GMT Star course, or they read the syllabus and they saw GMT Star there and they thought, oh, it's a GMT Star course, or we need to know something about it, or I don't know.
You are correct that GMT Star is mentioned only in the Python Unix plotting Numpy shell directed. It is the only area I see GMT Star, but I don't know why they still focus on GMT Star and post some question on that.
Right, and we don't actually give them the link either.
Exactly, yeah. Maybe that would solve the problem if we gave them a link to, maybe it'd make it worse. I don't know.
Yeah, the argument was that, wasn't it, that Dave Samuel makes them basically do a whole homework before they even get to his course.
I think that's
Teach
right.
them about Linux and Unix command line and stuff.
That's right. Yeah.
And for some people, it's maybe inside very new to them, so that they cannot distinguish between software and even platform. So some people ask me, what is the difference between GMT Star and OSL? So it is why they have so many software, so many terms in syllabus and everywhere, so they cannot distinguish.
Yeah, that's a good point. We often forget that some of the students are really new to all of the concepts, not just InSAR. So yeah, it can be quite a bit to absorb in a short time. I can try to go in to the syllabus while we're waiting here. And if we want, we can even try to clarify things jointly in real time, since there are no specific questions people are asking.
I'm editing the syllabus right now.
Oh, you are? Okay. But didn't we ask Becca to put in an important links channel?
Yeah.
Yes, it is still in the general channel. I mean, it's still pinned. So if you scroll up, it will show in different color.
I see something that says to pinned up at the top.
Yeah, you click on that, and the two things that are pinned are the pre and post surveys and the syllabus and the homework links.
Yeah, so those were there before. I thought we asked her to create a channel called important links so that people could see it directly. That pinned, again, it's another quasi hidden button that it's difficult for people to find if you're not using it all the time.
Is it possible to do that and make a channel that's visible to everybody without allowing people to post in it? Because really that's what you want. You want a kind of a read only.
Mm-hmm. Good point. Yeah.
I don't know about that. That sounds like a good thing for Becca to investigate.
Yeah. Oh, so you took out GMT Star.
I took it. So I went to the GMT Star course prerequisites, and the link that they use to teach Unix command line is this thing from the University of Surrey, which is actually from my hometown. And I just put the link that they used.
Awesome. All right, well, that's good. And Leanne, you didn't like the fact that we didn't specify specific things to look at the BYU address. You're muted. Can't hear you.
Yeah, I went to the link, and there are so many courses displayed in the website, and it seems that it requires to be registered for the course.
So were there
stuff there? There's like intro to Python programming and intro to scientific Python.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like you could just pick and choose what you thought you would be interested in. We say you need NumPy, you need Python, we need Unix, and we need some math basics. So you could get at least just find an intro to something there and click on it that seemed relevant. But we could be more specific.
Yeah, what shall we has anyone looked at any of these? Who suggested them?
France.
France. Yes.
And I think he said that it was either advertised through edX or on edX.
Yeah. You have to enroll in the classes.
So what happens if you click on intro to Python basic programming? Oh, you actually have to enroll in it and everything. I see. So I guess you can't just You can't just come in on the pre-course week and expect to do it.
Someone in the Slack suggested a Numpy tutorial they found somewhere else. And that might be useful.
Yeah.
It's just tutorialspoint.com/numpy. But it's kind of like a step-by-step rather than a like enrollment course type setup.
Well, that's what I thought we were getting at. So I guess Franz misled us a little bit. So let's see. Slack, yet another tool. Okay, where would I find it if I wanted to find it on Slack? Under the general?
Let me find it real quick and then I'll see.
I Googled, I just searched for it. I see it here.
Oh, okay.
Print.com. So maybe we should just get rid of this.
Don't get rid of it. Just let's just. What is it?
Okay. Yeah.
So for that section, at the very end, it says homework completion. Does that still apply? I mean, there's no specific homework that I can see.
Yeah. Yeah, there is no homework for this one. Let's cut and paste.
Okay.
Good point. I think we had planned homeworks and I've never got around to it.
Okay.
Okay, is this, you think this will help clear things up?
I think so, from a student's perspective.
Thanks for the insight.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Well, typically in this first office hours, not too many students have really started yet. So we kind of expect that there's not a lot of participation. It's pretty late there in Pakistan. Do you stay up this late often, Faizan?
Not really. I used to sleep at 1 or 2 a.m. But today I was waiting, or you can say I was sleepy sitting near my laptop to wait for or to attend the, this talk. because this is very important for me. And such trainings comes in the life, you know, no, at not too many chances. So
Good. Well, sorry,
I
it's
didn't
not
want
more
to-
active to keep you more
Yes.
awake, but
I already worked too much. I already worked too much at the day, and I planned to start it again at early morning again today.
What? I think you should go to sleep then, don't you?
All right, all right. I just in a few minutes.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for joining.
Thank you very much. Thanks to all of you.
Okay.
So when we've completed a homework assignment and we put the X and our TA has like checked over it, is the X like kind of a pass fail? Like the X means we've passed?
Yes, pretty
Okay.
much. We're just counting things up. Did you
Mhm.
sign up for credit with the University of Montana or anything? No.
No.
Yeah, so we're not, you know, this is for your own benefit. So we're not going to give grades and that kind of
Okay.
thing. For things where maybe, and we have a lot of office hours and we go over homework. So if there are questions, you're not getting something, you're not getting it, and you don't get the right answer, then we should be able to help you with that.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Sure. So we, if, you know, I suppose we could stay the extra 20 minutes, but I don't see any need to, if there's no questions, we don't need to hang out online, right? Do you agree, Gareth?
I agree.
Yeah. That way Faizan will get to sleep earlier and the rest of us can go about our day. Okay, great. Well, thanks for joining, for everybody who did. And thank you for staying up so late, Faizan. Thank you, Jamie, for
Thank you
taking
very
care
much.
of our,
Thank you very much. See you guys again.
we'll see you on Thursday.
All right, all right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very good. Bye-bye.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.